Reported NASA lawyer Miguna arrived in Canada yesterday with a declaration that he will fight his banishment. An exhausted Miguna said he had been held in deplorable conditions, even as his lawyers vowed to fight for his return in court. Miguna reports.
The defiant opposition crusader landed in Toronto, Canada, donned in slippers. A simple bag bore his belongings. Miguna, who was deported by the Kenyan authorities after being held in secrecy for 5 days, saying he was held in unhygienic conditions.
I want to go and take a shower. I've not showered for the last 6 days, maybe 7. So I need to take a good shower, hug my wife, hug my children, then eat properly. I've not eaten for the last 1 week.
Miguna was received by a handful of Kenyans living in Canada. The firebrand lawyer was bullish, criticizing President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime.
I'm solid, and we are solid as granite. We are focused as a laser beam, and they must be defeated, and they will be defeated. So it's just a question of time. It's not about if or when. It will happen.
The Interior Ministry, while deporting Miguna, claimed he had renounced his Kenyan citizenship and his continued stay in the country was threatening national interest. This despite Miguna being born in Nyando, Kisumu County, and having been issued a Kenyan passport, which authorities now claim it was fraudulently issued. The Interior Ministry claiming Miguna lost his Kenyan status in 1988 when he acquired Canadian citizenship at a time Kenyan laws did not permit dual citizenship, but that at the onset of the new constitution, Miguna never bothered to apply to regain his Kenyan citizenship. The ministry also accusing the deportee of colluding with the former immigration minister, the late Otieno Kajwang, to acquire an illegal Kenyan passport in 2009.
You cannot cancel, you cannot invalidate citizenship by birth. So I'm a citizen by birth. I never renounced my citizenship. I would never do it. Even if I was crazy, I would never do it. And I never did. And luckily, Canada does not require anybody to renounce citizenship before you pick the passport. And remember, I didn't have a Kenyan passport when I traveled to Canada. They had withdrawn my passport in 1987. So where did they expect me to be and how? So I needed a passport, right?
Miguna's lawyers saying they will challenge the deportation order next week as they seek to determine how a Kenyan by birth can lose their citizenship. The Canadian High Commission protested Miguna's arrest after they were denied access to him before his forced exit. The controversial lawyer has promised to fight his deportation, claiming he never renounced his Kenyan citizenship. Miguna, Citizen Live at 9.
Now, yesterday we were discussing just how much coverage Miguna was enjoying on the dailies, and he continues to do so even today in the dailies. Page 5 of the Daily Nation, envoys protests in Miguna saga. High Commission wanted to visit NASA activist in prison, Hanoi State. Lawyer welcomed by supporters when he landed in Toronto on Wednesday. That's the Daily Nation. On the Standard, 2 headlines on page 10. Miguna finally lands in Canada to a warm welcome. The other one, Miguna's fate now draws focus on dual citizenship. Many people, even those residing abroad, had not given a thought to the details required in acquiring dual nationality. On Twitter, it still continues to make conversation. It's the 3rd trending hashtag, Miguna deported. Going down, Canada still trending in Kenya for obvious reasons. That's where he was deported to. Of course, making for very interesting discussions. Let's see if at all there's any interesting tweet on this. Koigi Wamwere, yes, at K Wamwere. The absurdly unlawful deportation of Miguna is a travesty of justice. I suffered greatly under dictatorship and my family was not spared the wretchedness. Kenyans, let's defend our liberties. If we condone these illegalities, future generations won't forgive us. He's writing under the hashtag Miguna deported. That's just one. To help us look at this and other headlines, now joining me, George Kithi, a lawyer, Karibu Sana, and David Osiani, political analyst. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Quite a lot of discussions, of course, is that story we've just seen on Citizen TV, which I've just mentioned, how the conversations are going on, both on the dailies and in